Hi, welcome to Common Sense presentation. My name is Gary Ling. Today I would like to talk about the theory of evolution. In 1859, Charles Darwin published his book, The Origin of Species. He tried to explain in this book where all the creatures came from. And based on his many years of study and fossil records and his understanding of geology, biology, he developed the theory of evolution. And he said that all species came from the same ancestor. There will be some single cell living organisms. And this single cell living organism had the capacity to change themselves in order to adapt to the ever-changing environment. And the changes were little, gradual, and continuous. And because it's random, directionless, so it doesn't involve any intelligent super being to make the changes. But how they have this kind of capacity, that's another question, another topic. But Charles Darwin said that given enough time, a single cell living organism can gradually advance into a multi-cell living organism and even go even further into a complex organism. And then gradually, by accumulating their memory about good changes, which means that the change can make them even better survive in an ever-changing environment. And they pass on those good changes to their descendants. And therefore, their descendants become better and more sophisticated. And then, generation by generation, the changes enable the changes. And it become, a single cell become, multiple cell become complicated creatures. Like today's fish, today's mammals, and even human beings like you and me. Is that true? Let me give you an example. This rock came from a sand beach in Washington State. And I would expect that initially this rock was a big boulder, a round boulder, just like what we see in a creek or anywhere in a mountain. But then, because of the natural forces like wind, like ocean current, like the tidal wave, that keep on moving the sand particles around this rock, and the sand particle move on the surface of this rock like sandpaper, grinding the surface of this rock and making a big boulder into a flat little rock like this one. Given enough time, we are not talking about hours or days. It could be months or years or even decades, if not hundreds of thousands of years. And if we allow longer time, then it can fine-tune the rock and make it even thinner, smaller, with smoother surface. And even longer time given, it will make it even more smaller, smoother on the surface, and even more thinner. And that's the power of the natural forces. By the same token, will these natural forces be able to create a rock like this? Also, it's flattened And also on the surface of this rock, a graphic is created. It includes a bird, a cage hanging on a tree branch, and also a word, P-E-A-C-E, peace. So can the natural forces create a meaningful graphic like this, given a very, very long period of time? Let's say 4.5 billion years, which is the age of the Earth. Just like what Charles Darwin said, given long enough time, anything can happen. So, well, given long enough time, will the natural create something like this? If not, then there's something missing in the theory of evolution.